Boy, if I was to say to you the term super soldier, who would you think of?
Captain America.
Yep, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Right. What about Master Chief?
Sure.
Doom Guy?
Yep.
Solid Snake?
What?
Okay, he's from Metal Gear Solid.
Is he now?
Yes.
His name is Solid Snake.
Yes. There's Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus Snake, Naked Snake. There's a lot of...
Sorry, Naked Snake.
Naked Snake, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he gets dropped into Warzone with no equipment, so he's naked.
Cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
moving on. What about even the Space Marines from the Warhammer 40k universe?
Oh, you mean that game that we never finished? Yep.
Correct, yep. All characters or people out of fiction.
Yep.
But what if I told you history has its own super soldier? A guy that not only fought in 3 separate wars, but survived them.
Right.
And I'm not talking about pissy little wars that no one's ever heard of. I mean the big 2.
Pissy little wars.
Yeah. The big 2.
Yep.
Welcome.
So the Cola Wars, obviously.
Yeah. Welcome to this episode of Cheeky Tales, where we look at the life of the unkillable soldier, Adrian Carton de Wiart.
Right. The unkillable soldier.
Yes, he is known in history as the unkillable soldier.
Right. That feels like the kind of thing you shouldn't be named because you inevitably then get killed.
Well, we'll see by the end of this episode. So, it's a bit of a theme of mine, actually. I kind of like doing sequels to episodes we've previously done. I feel like this is a bit of a spiritual successor to Sean's episode, which was the Mad Piper of D-Day.
Oh, yeah?
If you remember that episode?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So
we were talking about like you just going into battle and this bloke's just coming up like coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his claymore on his back or something. Yeah. No, he had a bow and arrow. That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, someone. Yeah. So yeah, a bit of a spiritual successor to that. So
it's also World War II, I'm guessing.
That is one of the touchstones. So.
Is there a boat involved?
No.
No, don't want to hear it.
I mean, he travels on boat.
Cool. Why? Guy's a jerk.
I was going to say, do we have any banter you want to get into? What's happening?
My hand's sore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let him lick it better.
Yeah. No, what's been going on? What have we done? What have we done in the last couple of weeks?
I know, I've gotten into Pokemon cards. So
yeah, heavy into Pokemon cards you have.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Started.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of videos of people opening Pokemon cards. I've bought myself 2 packs. That's it, and a couple of singles.
Yeah, I have also bought a pack.
A couple of dozens of singles.
I got nothing good in it, and I went,
I'm done.
That's good. I didn't need anything good, and I won't be doing that again.
It's coming up to Christmas time. You have an event next week.
I do.
As of recording. So
yes,
that's going to be some fun banter for next episode.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah. It's my Bucks party.
Yeah.
So that's going to go.
Woo!
Yeah. That's going to be good. The 2 other blokes here, John and Sean, who's not here today, are groomsmen. So you've got them to thank for the stories that come out next time.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at an early episode next year. We'll be live from Aaron's wedding. We're going to do a live recording of Cheeky Tales.
Sorry, babe.
at the reception.
I have to spend 2 hours recording. I'll be back.
we actually do have to work out something for that because you're going to be away.
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah,
so.
I have thought about that. We're going to have to bank a couple in the new year. Or before the new year.
Or around the New Year's time.
Yeah.
Would be better when people are on holidays. We'd probably have a whole day of stuff we can do.
Yeah. Christmas Day. That's free, right?
Yep. That's then. This is now. And as we always seem to do when we're talking about a person and their life history.
Let's go back.
Let's start with Adrian's birth and his parents.
Cool.
I've written it out and I've said Adrian the entire time. I've written it down, but I kind of
Adrian.
I kind of want to call him.
Why did that take me that long?
Adders.
Adders? I'm happy with Adders.
Adders, cool.
Yeah, let's go with Adders.
He was born on May the 5th, 1880, and he was the eldest son of Leon Constant Gilslane Carton de Wiart.
That's a name.
That is a name. And Ernestine Wenzig.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, there was some rumours that Adrian, or Adders, was the illegitimate son of King Leopold II, monarch of Belgium.
Yep.
For some reason, it just said there was rumours around at the time that he was the illegitimate son of the monarch.
It just reminded me of a story that I heard the other day. I was like, is this the same one? It's not.
Okay.
I need to go find that one. That was a banger.
However, he spent his early years in both England and Belgium until the untimely passing of his mother. I say the untimely passing of his mother, when Adders was just 6 years old. This prompted Leon to move the family to Cairo so he could practice law in Egypt's mixed courts. Later research into Adrian's life revealed that his mother didn't actually pass in 1886, but instead his parents divorced and she remarried in that same year.
Right.
Originally, it was thought that she died. It was just a divorce and she got married to some other bloke.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Of course you mistake those two things.
Mm-hmm. In 1891, his English stepmother sent Adrian to a boarding school in England, the Roman Catholic Oratory School.
Orrery?
Probably. Or
how's it spelled?
O-R-A-T-O-R-Y.
O-R-A-T.
Yep. O-R-Y.
Just say an easy to pronounce name.
Oh, we're going to get into it. We got some cracker names coming up in this episode.
Right, so this is going to be a classic episode of Cheeky Tales where we butcher every name that's not in
I've practiced
Queen's
a few,
English.
so we'll see how we go. So he went to Roman Catholic school. From there, he went to a college in Oxford. And I have left the name of that college out because it was too hard for me to say. But
Cambridge.
No, it wasn't Cambridge. Oxford School.
Oxford University.
Yeah. No, he left his schooling in 1899 to join the British Army to fight in the Second Boer War. He falsified his name and age, signing up as Trooper Carlton, and claimed that he was 25 years old, when in reality, he was still 19.
Why is it called the Boer War? Rip. I don't even know. I've got nothing I can fact check with.
Hang on. If I can find my mouse, I will look that up. I believe the Boer War was caused by Britain's desire to unite the British South African territories of Cape Colony and Natal with the Boer Republic of the Orange Free State and the South African Republic. The Boers, Afrikaans, it's got Afrikaans-speaking farmers wanted to maintain their independence. The cause of the Boer War are complicated and often disputed, and ultimately boiled down to disputes over sovereignty and control over a highly lucrative natural resource such as gold. So it's just because it was the Boer territory.
Right, okay. I figured it would be something like that, but it's just an odd name.
I'm just looking up where is the Boer territory. It's like southeast or South Africa.
Right.
Okay. Obviously, it's not called that now, I don't think, but yeah. The Boer Republic, sometimes referred to as the Boer States. There you go. So
makes sense.
And this was the Second Boer War. It wasn't long before the start of his infamous legacy would begin. Adrian was shot in the stomach and groin, and it was necessary for him to return to England to recover from the wounds. So he's off to his first fight.
Bush.
Shot.
Yep. Gut and
groin.
Inner thigh. Ouch. Not a spot you want to have issues.
Not really. Not a spot you want to see your loads of blood. I know from experience. After...
Go on.
Do you want to know when?
Yeah.
When I had my vasectomy.
Yeah.
Cold peas afterwards, and I'd been sitting for an hour or two, and I went to the toilet, and as I went to the toilet, I discovered there was a lot of blood in that area. It wasn't like bleeding. It just been like weeping over the last... And that caused me to get really lightheaded, and I almost passed out because there was lots of blood there, and it scared me.
Panicky.
But everything was fine. So yeah, not an area you want blood.
I've never heard a good vasectomy story.
The rest of it was fine.
Yeah.
The actual process was fine. And like I said, it was just a bit of seepage. It wasn't like it was like squirting out blood or anything.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No. In general.
After learning Adders had abandoned his studies, his father was furious. However, allowed him to remain in the military. And after remaining in Oxford briefly, he was given a commission in the 2nd Imperial Light Horse. He also returned to South Africa to see action, and on September 14th, 1901, he was given a regular commission as a 2nd Lieutenant in the 4th Dragoon Guards and was transferred to India in 1902.
Great name.
Dragoon.
Dragoon.
Yeah. 4th Dragoon. It seems being seriously wounded instilled a strong desire for physical fitness. Adders would run, jog, walk, and play sports on a regular basis. It said when he was with company, he was a delightful character, but would hold the world record for bad language. That's
delightful. Swears like a trooper.
Well, yeah, it's probably where the term actually comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. He signed up as trooper, remember? It's a quite common thing through my research that people would say he was just an absolutely wonderful person, but loved a
bit of a swearer.
Yeah. Adders and his regiment would be transferred back to South Africa, and he would be promoted to lieutenant on July 16th, 1904. Also, he was appointed aide-de-camp to the commander-in-chief, Sir Henry Hildyard. So the aide-de-camp is just like assistant?
Yeah.
He described that period in his autobiography, which this is also the title of that chapter, his heyday. And it lasted until 1914, so about 10 years. While he only had light duties as aide-de-camp, it gave him plenty of free time for his interests, consisting of polo, shooting, and pig sticking. Hunting pigs.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they created all these like nice terms for hunting.
Pig sticking. That's a nice term.
Not really.
No. It's pretty graphic, really.
But if you don't know what they're doing, it takes you a minute to realise.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And not like pigs, like pink farm pigs. Like
not pepper.
No. Boars. Like wild boars, wild pigs. Yeah. Also, during this time, seeing as he was still a Belgian citizen, he took the oath of allegiance to Edward VII and was formally made a British citizen. So we're back in 1908. Adders was married.
Yep.
This may be the longest name we've ever had on Cheeky Tales, by the way.
All right. Prepare yourself.
Oh, yeah. Please do. He married Countess Frederique, Maria, Caroline, Henriette, Rosa, Sabina, Franziska, Vaga von Babenhausen.
That's too many names. Don't name your kid with that many middle names.
And
was it Vagabond at the end?
No, von Babenhausen.
Right. Was there Vagabond in there?
Nope.
Oh.
Do you want me to go over it again?
No.
Ready? Countess.
I'm good.
Frederique, Maria, Caroline, spelled with a K, Henriette, Rosa, Sabina, Franziska, Vaga von Babenhausen. She was the eldest daughter of Karl, 5th Prince of Vaga von Babenhausen, and Princess Eleonora zu Hohenlohe-Bartenstein, Ung Jagersberg of Klagenfurt, Austria.
I was really hoping that first guy was just going to be Carl.
No. Be funny. So, yeah, there's some names there.
Yeah.
And I think I did all right.
Yeah, there's a few names in there for sure.
I left them in because it's fun to have me struggle with them. Anyway, sure. Adders and his wife, they had 2 daughters. Now, Adders was pretty connected in the social circles. One of his cousins would become Prime Minister of Belgium from 1920 to 1921. And also, while on leave, he travelled extensively throughout Central Europe, using his connections to shoot at country estates in Bohemia, Austria, Hungary, and Bravia. I was going to say Bavaria. It's Bavaria.
Is it Bavaria or is it Bravia?
It's Bravia.
Right.
Upon returning to England, he rode with the famous Duke of Beaufort's hunt.
Oh, yeah, right. Never heard of it.
It's a pretty well-known.
Sure, I've never heard of it.
And during this hunt, he met future Field Marshal Sir Henry Maitland Wilson and the future Air Marshal Sir Edward Ellington, and was promoted to captain on the 26th of February 1910. From 1912 to 1914, Adders served as the assistant to the commanding officer of the Royal Gloucestershire Hussars. So
Hussars?
Hussars.
Yeah.
What is that place in England? Did I say it right? Gloucestershire?
Nah. It'll be like Gloucester.
Yeah, Gloucester. Yeah, it's like Gloucestershire.
Yeah, Gloucestershire.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, Reese.
Sorry, man. We get it too. People come over and they go Brisbane or Melbourne.
And then they look at Wollongabba and go, I'm getting back on the plane.
I'm not even going to try it.
Indrapilli, what the hell's that?
Yeah. Urongapilli?
Yeah.
Oh, Ebervale gets people all the time.
Yeah. Bundamba.
I've always got to, where do you live? Doxing myself, but I always have to spell it afterwards.
Yeah.
I just don't even bother.
Hmm.
Same with my street. Like, I've got to go, yeah, it's a normal English word, like, because they asked how to spell it. I don't know if you get that.
Maybe they think it's because it's got a Y in it.
Possibly. I'm not going to dox myself.
You got so close. Yeah, he almost told you that he lives.
Yeah, the number and everything. No, not really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's pretty well connected, like, in the upper aristocratic circles.
If you had have said your whole address, that would have been the best.
My phone number is 04.
Work out the rest, guys.
Yep. I've given you the first 2.
Yeah.
You can work out the next 8.
There's only 10 million other options.
Yep.
10 million? It's 8 digits, right?
No.
Yeah, 7 digits is million.
It's 10 digits. Your phone number.
Yeah, but you just gave 04.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So you've got 99 million other options. Good luck.
I'll be waiting by the phone. Probably half the people that listen already know my number anyway, so what does it matter?
True. Call John if you know his number.
Oh, please don't.
2 a.m.
So, yeah, this guy's pretty well connected in the upper aristocratic circles. Like he married a countess.
Yeah.
He's got
Where was she a countess of again? With names like that, it sounds like Spain.
Flagenfurt, Austria.
Right. I should have known that.
Flagenfurt.
Well, I shouldn't have known that. Who would know that?
So now we're up to 1914. And we all know what started then. World War One.
Yeah.
What episode did we cover the start of World War, like the assassination that started World War Two? World War One.
Was it the Christmas truce?
Yes, it was. Episode 40, Christmas truce. So 50 episodes ago.
Pause, go back and listen to it.
So when that was all happening, Adders was on his way to British Somaliland. Not Somalia.
Somaliland.
Somaliland. Yep.
Was that where Somalia is now?
I think so. I didn't actually look it up, but it would make sense, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Where a low-level war was underway against the followers of a dervish leader, Muhammad bin Abdullah. He was known as Mad Mullah by the Brits. Your yawn count is high already.
Spiraling out of control over here.
Adders had been seconded to the Somaliland Camel Corps, and in an attack against an enemy fort at Shimbaberis, Adders was shot once in the arm, twice in the face, losing his left eye and a portion of his ear.
Ouch. Sorry, did you say right eye and left ear?
No.
Left eye and left ear.
Left eye, just at a portion of his ear. Doesn't say which ear.
Yeah, I just thought it was like opposite sides.
No. But yeah, lost his left eye. And we're not even at the start of World War One yet.
Yeah.
He just lost an eye.
How did he end up fighting in the rest of the war?
Oh, wait, you wait.
Okay.
During this time, he would gain a Distinguished Service Medal. He would return to England again to recover in a nursing home in Park Lane, which was his preferred place of recovery. He would return to this nursing home each time.
Not a good sign to have a preferred place of recovery. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Generally, you want to only do that once.
While recovering, it stated that Adders received a glass eye, but it irritated him so much that he allegedly tossed it from a taxi and acquired a black eye patch instead.
Right.
You are spiraling. You had
I don't know what's going on.
3 in the last. The bite from Apollo's really just...
Yeah, it zoomed me.
Yep.
Well, I only had one coffee today, so that might be it. Oh.
Adders also saw action on the Western Front. He headed to France in February of 1915 and successfully commanded 3 infantry battalions and a brigade. However, somewhat unbelievably, Adders was wounded 7 more times in this war. Yeah.
Calm down, mate.
Yep.
Have a break.
The first of which happened during the Second Battle of Ypres. While fighting in the trenches, Adders' left hand was shattered by German artillery.
So he's lost an eye and an ear and now his left hand.
Yep.
How is this guy fighting in 2 further wars?
This is still the start of the First World War, so he's got to finish this one and then Second World War.
Oh.
According to his memoirs, the doctor would refuse to amputate his hand.
Why?
So he would
We don't have enough cocaine.
Well, he would rip off 2 of his own fingers to return to the front.
Oh, dude. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. Kind of like, did you hear the story in the last Olympics of the hockey reef player that had his finger amputated?
Yeah.
It was broken and he wouldn't be able to play with a broken finger, so he amputated it instead, which would allow him to play in the Olympics because the recovery time's less.
You're losing a finger for the rest of your life.
I think it was his last chance to play in the Olympics.
Okay.
So.
And then they didn't even medal.
No. Anyway.
It feels like it's a pretty big trade to make. That's crazy. When I broke my finger, I wasn't getting it amputated.
Oh, yeah, neither was I. So, yeah, ripped off 2 of his own fingers so he could return quicker. But then later on would have the hand amputated about a year later.
Right.
So, yeah, he is now missing his left arm, left eye.
Left hand.
I think it was around about mid.
Oh, right. Okay. So a fair bit of it.
Yeah. So it's not just like, I'm sure the photos I've seen, it's like closer to the elbow than the wrist. Undeterred, and even though missing a hand, others would return to the fight and fought in the Battle of Somme, during which his men recall seeing the now one-handed man pulling pins from grenades with his teeth and then flinging them with his one good hand.
That's so dope.
To further cement Ada's badassery, during the assault on the village of La Boisselle in France of 1916, 3 other unit commanders from the 8th Battalion in the Gloucestershire Regiment were killed. Others would then step up and take charge of all 3 units, and they would hold back an advancing enemy assault. That action got the then 36-year-old awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest and most prestigious decoration in the British military. I have an extract from the London Gazette describing his action that day in earning him the VC. So yeah, like you said, pretty badass. This guy's black eye patch, one-handed, just
hucking grenades.
Yep. And
Have
then
some of this, love.
So I'll read this and then we'll go into it.
Yeah.
For the most
South African, wasn't he?
And like, hey,
he was South African, wasn't he?
Belgian,
right?
Yeah. For the most conspicuous bravery, coolness, and determination during severe operations of a prolonged nature, it was owing in a great measure to his dauntless courage and inspiring example that a serious reverse was averted. He displayed the utmost energy and courage in forcing our attack home. After 3 other battalion commanders had become casualties, he controlled their commands and ensured that the ground won was maintained at all costs. He frequently exposed himself in the organisation of positions and supplies, passing unflinchingly through fire barrage of the most intense nature. His gallantry was inspiring to all.
That's a pretty glowing report.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine this guy like on the berm of like cover, just ordering troops as bullets just whiz past him. One-handed, one-eyed, and then every now and again just stopping to
huck a grenade.
That's the movie scene, right? The guy just
huck through her.
I wonder if Sean would have hated that.
Yeah, he would, but he's not here, is he?
But I wonder if that's like the action movie where that's originated from, like the action movies, like pulling the pin with the grenade and throwing it.
Oh, maybe. I mean, like it's kind of a logical move, right? To pull it with your teeth.
Not really.
Yeah, if your hand's busy.
Or if you don't have one.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
In my head canon, this is where it's originated from. This guy, just like one-handed, I could just imagine like a crate of grenades, just one after another, just.
And his teeth just chipped all down.
To make this guy even cooler, in his memoir that I mentioned earlier, he humbly doesn't even mention this honour.
Oh, really?
Claiming, and I quote,
went and bought eggs, went to meeting, came home.
Claiming, and I quote, it had been won by the 8th Gloucesters, for every man has done as much as I have.
Right.
Just.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Adders would seem to find himself in some of the most hellish battles of World War I.
Yeah.
Like the Battle of Delvin Wood. Devell Wood, also known as Devil's Wood.
Yeah, sure.
Adders would again lead from the front, but again would be wounded. This time receiving probably his worst injury. He was shot in the back of the head. So
in the back of the head?
I'm not sure if it was like back to front. I think it might have been like sideways.
Yeah.
The description said would normally kill anyone else.
Yeah.
He got shot in the back of the head. It missed his spinal cord and he survived and recovered from
wild.
it.
JFK should have taken some hints.
In 3 subsequent battles he would fight in. Yeah, I saw that. I heard that. Not only did he get shot in the back of the head and survive, he's returned to fight again in 3 subsequent battles. He would be shot in the ankle, hip, leg, and finally again in the ear.
Oh, dude, you've done enough. You've done enough.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Just 3 days before the end of the war, on November 8th, Adders was given.
So by this point, they're like kind of aware the war's ending. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure how aware they were of the war ending or not. That's something we'd have to look up.
Well, just remember that the end of World War I was like agreed.
Yes.
They didn't
True.
just end. It was like, hey, we're going to end on this date at this time.
Yep. So 3 days before, November
Yeah.
8th, which is obviously the day we have Remembrance Day, November 11th is the end of the war. Adders was given command of a brigade with the rank of temporary brigadier general. Apparently his reputation had preceded him, and the men in the brigade were quite nervous at the new appointment. They knew Adders was fond of finding a fight. Imagine this new...
I don't want to be... that guy's been shot 7 times. I don't want to deal with that.
Imagine this new commander just showing
Yeah.
up to inspect, like he's inspecting the troops. They're out in parade. He's missing an arm. He's got one eye. He's got 11 wounded stripes on his uniform. Like, that would have to be pretty intimidating, right? Like,
Yeah. And he's telling you to F off.
well, one of the guys in recalling it is like, even though he had one eye, he still told me to get my bootlaces changed. He still pick up like that details type of thing. Like, yeah, could you imagine like, oh, this guy's been shot 7 times, shot in the back of the head, lost an eye, lost an arm.
Yeah, I don't want to follow that guy.
He's your new commander. Like,
yeah. He might have a Victoria Cross, but I still don't want to follow the guy that keeps getting shot.
right? Well, he just obviously keeps putting himself in harm's way. Like,
Yeah.
so, all right. So now that's the end of World War I. He's done 2 wars.
Yep. So Boer War, Second Boer War.
Yep.
World War I.
Correct.
Yep.
In the years between World Wars, what did Adders do?
I'm going to say race car driver.
No.
Oh.
He found other wars to fight in.
Oh, cool.
1919 to 1921, he commanded the British effort to aid Poland, in which he engaged in multiple conflicts with the Soviet Bolsheviks, the Ukrainians, the Lithuanians, Bolsheviks, the Ukrainians, the Lithuanians, and the Czechs over contested territory. Also in 1919, he survived not 1 but 2 plane crashes, and one even resulted in a brief period of Lithuanian captivity.
Okay. So he's a POW now.
Yep. Another encounter for Adders was when Cossacks, Eastern Slavic Christians, attempted to hijack his observation train.
Yep.
Adders would
like a spy train.
I would assume it's just a train that goes around, and from that you're able to look at towns. Maybe, I don't know.
It just seems like the least conspicuous spy vehicle. It's like, hey, what are these train tracks here for?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that giant train with a bunch of telescopes on it.
Hey, let's set up this super secret base right next to these train tracks. Nothing's going to come past here.
Yeah, these train tracks that we didn't build. Like, what's on this timetable? What's this question mark train?
I don't know.
Guys, anyone know what this question mark train is?
I wouldn't say it was for spying. I'd say it was just doing the rounds, being able to check on things.
Yeah.
You know, Adders would take these hijackers on single-handedly, literally, armed with only a revolver. Allegedly, during the fight, he fell onto the tracks, but immediately recovered, hopping straight back up onto the moving train to finish off the rest of the attackers.
What? So he fell off this train?
Yep.
Obviously, it's not moving very quickly.
And then got up and got back on it.
This dude's wild.
By 1921, when the Poles had won their war, Adders retired with the honorary rank of Major General.
Yep.
And he had become quite fond of Poland and decided to remain there. Adders had become friends with even more powerful people, including Prince Karol Mikola Radziwiłł.
Right.
Yep. Member of the Polish royals. The prince gave Adders a large estate called Prostin, a wetland area that is larger than Ireland and surrounded by water and forest.
Sorry, he got given an estate larger than Ireland.
Correct.
The country of Ireland.
Correct.
That's a big estate. I don't know if you know this, but Ireland is big. It's not that big.
He spent the next 15 years there where he himself claimed, I did not waste one day without hunting.
Yeah. You got so much space.
Yep.
Bloody hell. Like there would be surely there's towns in that space. It's not just his house.
If I remember correctly, I forgot to write it down, but let's have a look at Prostin, village of Mazovian, Poland. I think when I looked it up, it's something like 500,000 hectares.
Yeah. Well, like surely there's towns in there. Like, how would it not be? How could it be just one house, right?
Yeah. Boy, that's just what it said. I can only just tell you what I read.
Fair enough.
I don't believe he was given the entirety of it. He might have been given a portion of it. But yeah, this whole area was larger than Ireland.
Yeah.
Big wetland area. So that was his next 15 years, hunting and fishing. This brings us to the world's...
Hunting and fishing.
This brings us to the world's worst sequel, World War II. I think we've called it that before, haven't we?
Yeah. I think you specifically have used that term like twice.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Yeah. And actually, if you want to argue, not saying World War II was good, but it's probably not the worst sequel.
What would you say is the worst sequel then?
Matrix 2.
What? Matrix Reloaded? Was it Reloaded? No.
Yes.
No, that's Matrix 4, wasn't it?
I don't know, dude. So you don't even remember what it's called?
There's Matrix Revelations.
That was the new one. Doesn't matter.
No, that was number 3.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. That doesn't matter. Garbage.
I didn't think so.
I actually haven't even seen it.
Oh my God.
Why would you think I had?
Titanic 2 is the world's worst sequel.
Yeah, because it hasn't even come out yet. Get that billionaire on there and let him sink.
Avatar 2.
Again. Is that the first time you've thought about Avatar in like 2 months?
Yes.
I'm being proven right every time we mention it because every time it's the first time I've heard of it since the last time we mentioned it, which would be months in the past. Avatar is a terrible franchise that is incredibly forgettable.
You done?
Yes.
Okay.
Without Sean here, I don't have to keep going.
He doesn't stick up for it though, does he?
Yeah.
Huh.
If the way you hear him talk about it on this podcast, you'd think it's his favorite franchise.
It could be, and you just keep dunking on it.
He doesn't even care about it.
Okay.
Garbage friend. James Cameron.
Whoa. Don't knock James Cameron.
James Cameron.
He's had some good movies.
Sure. Not Avatar.
Aliens being one.
Titanic.
Which was one of the world's greatest sequels.
What?
Aliens.
Yeah, sure. Wait. Oh, because Alien was the first one, right?
Mm-hmm. And Aliens.
Man, they've taken all the easy titles. Alien. Predator. Like, you're just naming the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... There's no single word titles anymore.
I'm sure there could be.
If they're made up. Coming this summer.
Hunter. There's probably a movie out there called Hunter.
Yeah. Schlorgenmorg.
Extraterrestrial. It's probably that's been taken as well.
Yeah, E.T.
Yeah. No, but it's called E.T. It's not called
Twister.
Extraterrestrial.
Oh, I guess Twisters. Great film.
Come on.
Great sequel.
Come on.
If you feel it, chase it.
Isn't it just this first movie redone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same film. Oh, no, it's a little different. It's a little different.
Okay, there's more than one Twister.
There's not a guy leaving his fiancée in the middle of the film.
I thought you were going to say there's more than one Twister.
Well, there's more than one Twister in the first one.
Is there?
Yeah.
I've never seen Twister.
You've never seen Twister?
Nope.
Wow. Boy, you're letting me down.
You know, another movie that starts with T that I've never seen?
What?
Titanic.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it until like 2 years ago.
When you did the episode. Didn't you watch it because you did the episode?
No, I hadn't even seen the movie when we did the episode.
Oh, right.
I saw it the Valentine's Day that we moved here, so 2 years ago.
Okay.
And the only way that we could see it was in 3D. So the only way I've seen Titanic is in 3D. And let me tell you, not a bad adaptation in 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes where you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool in 3D.
Back to James Cameron.
Yeah, when it's sinking and the arse of the ship comes up.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
When the stern comes up.
Thank you. There's actually a name for that part of the boat.
Yeah, when the ship's butt
personified
comes up out of the water, it's like this super long, it like comes out, it's great.
When the Titanic's Giat comes out of the water.
Yeah.
That's one for the kids. We're hip.
Is that what Giat means?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Did you not know?
No, why would I know that?
You don't have a 9 or a 14-year-old, that's why.
Skibbity, bruv.
Yeah, it's bussin'.
Nah, that one's too old now.
What?
Bussin'?
Yeah.
Nobody's saying bussin' now.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
The kids are saying it.
Oh.
No cap.
No, yeah, for real.
All right. I'm going to stop before the grey starts showing.
You know, there's a few things that have shown. Sorry to keep derailing.
We've derailed so
Yeah, we're
badly.
doing the derailing in the middle of the episode this time.
Instead of the start.
There's a few things that have made me feel my age in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
The other day I was eating some food just at the coffee table here, just like having some snacks. and I put my arm up on the table for too long, and then my shoulder's been messed up ever since. And then I just heard you explain the word gyat. And I'm definitely not in my 20s anymore.
Boy, it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
So someone who's nearly in their 40s,
Uh-oh.
it don't get better.
Yeah.
World War II.
Okay.
Yeah. Back when I was born.
Yes. Steer into it, boy.
As the start of the war loomed, he was recalled in July of 1939 to his old job, head of the British military mission in Poland.
How old was he at this point?
Well, he was born in 1880, so that would put him
so he'd be like 50.
59.
49? 59.
59.
Yeah. Sheesh. That's an old bloke.
Nazi Germany invades Poland on September 1st, and 2 weeks later, the Soviet attacked Poland from the east.
Yeah.
Because remember, the Soviets and the Germans were allies at the start.
Yep, they got messed up.
The Soviets would overrun Proston, and Aders would lose all of his guns, fishing rods, clothing, and furniture. He pretty much
fishing rods.
Yeah, he pretty much.
How am I going to go hunting and fishing now?
They were singled out as things he was upset from losing. So he pretty much lost all his stuff.
Yeah, he loses his entire living.
Well, he had to evacuate. He had to evacuate where he was living. You know, like his stuff was actually packed up and taken to the Minsk Museum.
Oh,
which was later destroyed by the Germans when the Soviets and Germany. Yeah. Aders never saw that area again, but stated, "They did not take my memories." Aders would advise the head of the Polish military, which led to the Polish fleet leaving the Baltic Sea before the outbreak of the war. He was trying to get the Polish to withdraw their military as well, but that was ignored. But he got the fleet out in time, which saved them, and they were able to later significantly contribute to the Allied cause.
Good.
As Polish resistance weakened, Aders would evacuate himself, the British mission, and the Polish government from Warsaw, and had the Germans and the Soviets hot on his tail. At one point, his car convoy was attacked by the Luftwaffe, resulting in the wife of one of his aides dying. So,
God, imagine being the wife of someone.
Yeah.
Like you're just there because your partner's there and you get shot dead.
But again, this is like another one of his stories. This guy's cruising out of the country. Planes are strafing him. Anyway, he only just scraped out of, they went from Poland to Romania. He only just scraped out of Romania as well. On September 21st, he left by plane with a false passport. This was the same day the pro-Allied Romanian Prime Minister was assassinated. So I'm assuming if it was a day later, he's probably not getting out of there.
No.
His next mission, occupy a small town in Norway, Namsos, and take the town of Trondheim 200 kilometres south.
His next mission, do anything without getting injured.
Yeah. On the way, his seaplane was forced to land in a fjord and was attacked by a German fighter plane. Here, one of his aides were wounded and were evacuated. In true Adrian Carton de Wiart style, he refused to get into the rubber dinghy because it was a sitting duck. Instead, remained in the wreckage until the fighter plane ran out of ammo and flew away. So he's like, I'm not getting in that thing. You guys are going to get absolutely torn up.
Yeah.
It ran out of ammo, flew away, and then he just strolled out. He just strolled out of the wreckage and got picked up by a Norwegian ship, pretty much.
Yeah, just something later.
Yep. His tenure in Norway didn't last long. His forces were outgunned and undersupplied. However, the super soldier he was, Aders gathered his force, scaled the mountain, and advanced toward Trondheim, all while being constantly bombarded by German destroyers. The naval attack that was meant to happen at the same time, like the coordinated attack, it didn't happen. And it left Aders and his forces exposed, without guns, transport, air cover, or skis. They needed skis because they were in 1.5 feet of snow.
Yeah.
They were constantly being shelled by the German destroyers, as well as being machine gunned and bombed from the air, and had the Germans were landing compose myself. The German Navy were landing troops behind them.
Yeah.
And they were being constantly attacked by German ski troopers.
Ski troopers seems
dope, right?
Yeah.
They're just cruising down the slopes.
Yeah, doing the... like cutting left and right.
Yeah. They seem,
I'm sure that's not what it was like. I'm sure it sucked.
I'm sure
It's probably just cross-country skiing.
right.
Yeah.
It's not down slow.
Yeah. It's not like going down the hill. It's not a Bond film.
No, remind me at the end of this. I want to bring it up. I'm sure there's a scene in True Lies where they got blokes going down skis, like with the Uzis going, as Arnie's running across the snowfield.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a thing. The Norwegian campaign was turning into a bit of a show, and Adders requested withdrawal, to which he was denied and asked to hold his position for political reasons.
Cool. That's the only reason that you would ever want to hear.
And he did.
Yeah.
Eventually, the order to withdraw was given, and when they arrived at the rendezvous point, their extraction wasn't there.
Oh, cool.
It did, however, show up the following night, and Adders and his entire force were evacuated amid heavy bombardment. 2 Allied destroyers were sunk in the process, and Adders arrived back onto British soil on 5th of May 1940, his 60th birthday.
Oh, what a present. Yeah.
In April of 1941, Adders was appointed by Winston Churchill to lead a British mission to Yugoslavia, but he never arrived. While en route to Yugoslavia via Malta, the plane he was travelling in lost both engines and nosedived into the Mediterranean. Adders and the RAF bomber crew clung to the wing of the plane until the fuselage started to sink. Adders then helped an injured and struggling person swim the mile to shore. Remember, this dude at this point is 61 and has one arm.
Yeah, how's he holding this person?
I don't know.
Hooking him onto his stump and off he goes, using his teeth.
As soon as they made it ashore, they were captured by the Italians.
Oh, come on, man.
Adders was sent to a castle outside of Florence where he was held as one of 13 high-ranking officer POWs.
Yeah.
So he's already been a prisoner of war, and now he's a prisoner of war again.
Yeah. In the same war too. Yeah.
No, it was like in between wars last time.
That's right. It was also Poland, but not the... Yeah.
So you reckon this bloke just sat quietly, sat out the rest of the war as a prisoner of...
I'm going to guess no.
Correct. He did not.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like the kind of guy to go and take a desk job.
What do you think he did?
He's going to go back to the front lines.
No, okay. Before that,
Okay.
he attempted 5 escapes. Including
what else are you going to do? You're a POW.
Including one that seems like it was straight out of the movie The Great Escape, but with grandpas.
There's a bunch heist.
Yeah. There was a bunch of old blokes as POWs, and they made this attempt. One attempt where they spent 7 months tunneling a 60-foot tunnel that went through bedrock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So not an easy thing.
No. Not an easy thing now.
No. On one of these occasions, he even evaded recapture for 8 days.
Oh.
Disguised as an Italian peasant.
Mamma mia.
However, he was
Give me the pasta.
He was in northern Italy, spoke no Italian, was 62 years old, had an eye patch, and one empty sleeve because of the missing hand. Multiple scars from injuries. It's safe to say he kind of stood out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So he was recaptured and taken back. Just over 2 years and 7 breakout attempts later, in August of 1943, Adders was driven to Rome. The Italian government was wanting to leave the war, and Adders was to be their bargaining chip. So this is the time the Italians kind of backflipped on the Germans as well.
They've kind of ended Mussolini. Yep.
He accompanied an Italian negotiator and was to meet Allied contacts in Lisbon. He was told he needed civilian clothes. This was to keep the mission secret. Adders, however, distrusted Italian tailors, but he stated, and I quote, had no objection provided he did not resemble a gigolo. That's just a quote, and I wanted to leave it in because it sounds hilarious.
I don't want to look like no filthy gigolo, mate.
It just kind of speaks to the character of this bloke. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Just
don't make me look like a gigolo.
A bit of tongue in cheek, you know. Eventually returning to England again after his release on August 28th, 1943. 2 years as a POW. Time for rest?
No.
1 month after his return, he was summoned to spend the night at the PM's house, where Churchill would assign him another mission. He would be Churchill's special representative to the Chinese leader.
Right.
Before heading to China, he accompanied the Chinese leader to the Cairo conference where Japan's post-war future would be discussed. After that, Adders spent 4 years in China, where somehow he managed to experience yet another plane crash.
This guy doesn't like planes by this point, I'm guessing.
Or boats.
Yeah.
This guy still did so much. And I'm condensing what he's done in China, the 4 years he spent in China. I'm skipping things like meeting with a bunch of dignitaries. He had a front row seat on the HMS Queen Elizabeth for the bombardment of Sabang and being at the formal surrender of the Japanese. He did a lot. Not a lot of frontline stuff so much, but he was still...
Yeah, he's a diplomat by this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were... Back when he was in Poland and doing stuff like that, people were like, you're too old to be leading on the front. And then he's doing stuff like driving the Polish government out of a war-torn country or being... Yeah. Anyway. So, like I said, he attended the formal surrender of the Japanese. October 1947, at 66, Adrian Carton de Wiart retired.
Right.
For the last time.
Sure. Yep.
But there was one last major injury left in him.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, this isn't the one what gets the tough old bugger. He survives this one as well. Travelling home via French Indochina, Adams stopped at Rangoon as a guest of the army commander. Coming down the stairs, he slipped on a coconut matting, fell, broke several vertebrae and knocked himself unconscious.
No way. On a coconut.
Yep.
Or coconut matting.
Yep. He broke his back.
Yeah.
He was admitted to the Rangoon hospital to recover, and while there, doctors removed a huge amount of shrapnel from his body.
Yeah, well, while we're in there, let's just do a bit of cleaning.
Unfortunately, his wife died in 1949.
Oh.
And in 1951, at the age of 71, he remarried Ruth Myrtle Muriel Joan McKenney, who was 23 years his senior. 23 years his junior.
Right. So she's in her 50s.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has written a memoir, as I mentioned earlier, and if you want to look it up, it's titled Happy Odyssey, which he wrote in his retirement and spent most of his days fishing. That is until he died peacefully at the age of 83 in 1963.
Right.
Just to close off his little story, the second wife, Ruth, she passed in January of 2006 at the age of 102.
Wow.
I thought
that's a run.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So that's why I included 40 years after he passed. But yeah.
That is a long time.
So I thought that was interesting to include, which is interesting. So 102, 2006. She was born in 1904. He wasn't quite fighting. He may have been fighting in his first war then.
Yeah.
That's just interesting to think of. So
whenever you think of big age differences like that, it's a bit odd.
Yeah. So anyway, I have screenshot all of his awards and decorations if you want to quickly go over them, because this is the end of his story.
Yeah.
So we can go over his. So I think this goes in highest distinction down. So obviously the Victoria Cross, 1916. Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire. That was from New Year's Honours in 1945. Companion of the Order of the Bath, the military division. Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. Companion of the Distinguished Service Order. That was for when he lost his eye. That I believe that was when that happened. Queen South Africa Medal. Africa General Service Medal. 1914 Star. British War Medal. Victory Medal. 1939 45 Star. Africa Star. Burma Star. Italy Star. War Medal. 1939-1945. King George VI Coronation Medal. Queen Elizabeth II Coronation Medal. Officer of the Order of the Crown from Belgium. Croix de Guiard, 1914 to 1918. That's a Belgian medal as well. Silver Cross, Knight of the Order of Military Virtue of Poland. Cross of Valour from Poland. Commander of the Legion of Honour of France. And the Croix de Guiard, 1939 to 1945 from France.
That is a lot of awards. A lot of medals.
Very distinguished.
Yeah.
Military career.
Yeah.
That is the story of the unkillable soldier.
Yeah.
So now, as you stated at the start of the episode, a moniker that you might not necessarily want. Do you still agree with that?
No, I mean, he was pretty unkillable.
He was pretty unkillable.
But none of us beat Father Time. But, sheesh, what a guy.
Just an extraordinary life.
Yeah. I always think with people like that, they just do so much. It's incredible.
yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I skipped out on too, where he's, like you said, acting as a diplomat, doing a lot of aristocratic activities, like very well connected, but then also just out leading the troops at the front and like not sitting back in a headquarters or anything like that. He was,
doing the job.
He was doing,
It's it is incredible hearing stories of people like that and just knowing that like if you just do stuff, you're gonna do so much.
Yeah.
Good story, boy.
Yeah, like as you are aware, I've wanted to keep it short, but it's just this. Yeah, it's just one of those.
It'll be half an hour, he said.
It was just one of those ones that, as I kept going through it, it's just like more and more and more. And you're like, what? And these are the episodes that we love. We always say we want to find stories that are just like keep blowing your mind. What happens?
They just keep growing in scale.
Yeah. You think, oh, the dude's been shot in the back of the head. What else could happen?
Yeah.
No, he could fall down some stairs and break his back. So like,
and then still live another like 10 years.
20.
Is it 20 years?
Another 20 years.
Yeah. Sheesh. Wait, what year did he die? 1963.
1963.
Yeah. Crazy.
Was that Vietnam?
It must be close, yeah.
Do you reckon he was sitting and going, do I?
I don't think he was. No,
I don't think so. But I sent you a photo, and I'm sure you're going to post it. I might be able to find a higher resolution one, but there's photos of him in a group with Winston Churchill. Like, he spent a night at Churchill's place. Like this, he was like, oh, you're back from 2 years in POW. I've got a mission for you.
How was POW camp in Italy?
Yeah.
Would you like to go out again and do more stuff?
Well, this was like 4 weeks after he returned from being a POW. Churchill sent him over to China go, I need you. China.
Yeah. Off you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
So we talked about his wife, but like, I don't reckon his first wife seen him much.
Probably not, no.
Away fighting or back recovering. Like,
at his favourite recovery clinic.
Nursing home.
That's it.
Yeah. What a dude.
That's a cool dude.
Yeah, if you want to obviously find out more in depth of his story, he's got his memoir, what I call it was, Happy Odyssey. Yeah. I'm sure you can find that as an ebook or somewhere.
I'd love to read that.
I'm sure that'd be a great story. There was a heavy metal band that wrote a song about him in 2022.
Right.
I can quickly look that up. I think it's got something to do with Unkillable Soldier in it.
That sounds like a heavy metal thing. Well, while John does that, I will let you know about our socials. So at Cheeky Tales Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We don't post a lot there, but we do post supplemental images that go along so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. And you're free to message us anytime. We will hit you back as soon as we can. And give us your episode suggestions, your feedback, anything that you feel like telling us. We'd love to hear. I think I said Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have killed off the Twitter. It's not in use anymore. It's just Facebook and Instagram.
Have you parked the Blue Sky yet?
No. I've got Blue Sky, but it's mostly just people complaining about Twitter.
Okay.
Which is not an interesting place to be. So I think it needs to develop a bit more.
So the band that did the song was Sabaton. And it's literally just called The Unkillable Soldier.
Right. There you go.
So go check it out. Yep.
All right. Well, good episode, boy.
Thanks.
I look forward to the next one, which will be mine. It will be.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to, I'm in my head, I'm working out dates.
It's in your head.
What are you doing, a zombie episode?
I could. Come to think of it, is this our last episode? No. Is it our last episode before Christmas? The next one?
No. So this is out on the 3rd of December.
Yep.
And then we got my episode on the 17th.
No, this episode's the 3rd, so my episode would be the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my episode will come out on the 31st of December. So a New Year's Eve episode.
Ooh. Okay.
What are we going to do for that?
I don't know.
Like, we're not recording at New Year's Eve, but...
No. We'll have to do something.
We'll have to do something.
Yeah.
When are we doing Christmas? Does that mean I've got Christmas? How did this happen?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yes.
I'm not doing a Christmas episode.
Episodes at some point?
No.
Yeah.
Every other year, whoever's done Halloween has gotten Christmas. How has this happened?
Yeah, suck it, boy. And on that bombshell, it's been a great night. Thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Actually, how has that happened?